Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And you know, we talk a lot on this channel about the complete mess that the sewage system and the tap water system is in South Africa. And it's self-evident. It's the fruits of black economic empowerment and a corrupt ANC government. But of course, because everything has to be sort of sorted out legally, it takes time to actually get to the bottom of things and see the blinking obvious. Well, corruption in the water and sanitation sector has damaged lives and livelihoods in many communities, a new report reveals. The report, titled "Money Down the Drain: Corruption in South Africa's Water Sector," was released on Thursday by Corruption Watch and the Water Integrity Network. It highlights the extent to which corruption is rife in both private and public sectors. This is under the ANC government. Municipalities, the whole lot, corrupt. The report states that while there are laws and policies in place, in reality, informal rules apply. In other words, there are no rules actually giving a path or a track for these particular services. Resources that could have improved services have gone into private pockets and have been used to consolidate the power of ruthless politicians. Doesn't that sound like socialism? And the ANC government, of course. The performance of water service institutions has deteriorated so seriously over the past decade that ministers stopped providing the data. Many strategies used to achieve personal and political benefit at the expense of the public have been documented, the report found. Corruption in South Africa, the report noted, was evil in that it preys disproportionately on the most disadvantaged communities and individuals. It undermines economic growth and development, and it corrodes democratic governance systems which rely on trust between those in authority and the citizenry. And look, just to be totally blunt, it's black economic empowerment that has actually made this happen. This is the fruits of BEE: corruption, fraud, incompetency, and now you can see what's happening with water and sewage. Anyway, the report went on to say, once supply infrastructure has been built, it must be operated and maintained, and the initial decision on how to provide it can have long-term implications on the viability of the service. But if users' circumstances and preferences change, the original solution may no longer be workable, and as we see every day in South Africa, supplies fail, leaving communities desperate. Now, right now in South Africa, for those of you who are overseas, many of my subscribers are facing just 11 hours a day with electricity because of load shedding and because of what's going on. It's becoming like Zimbabwe 2.0 right now in South Africa. The only difference is there's still a very substantial white population in South Africa. And if you listen to my interview just now with Isaac van Zyl, it was a live stream, you would see that a large and growing number of white South Africans are gatvol. They've had enough. Anyway, continuing. Many of these projects and the systematic corruption that ensued flourished under the stewardship of former Minister of Water and Sanitation Nomvula Mokonyane between 2014 and 2018. The report said, but it is important to note that problems in the sector existed even prior to Mokonyane's tenure, as investigations into criminal cases were underway from that time to the tune of 50 million rand. However, by the time Mokonyane left her post, irregular expenditure had ballooned to well over 4 billion rand. That's with a B, billion rand, with new cases being uncovered. The report also pointed out that as much as government, is to blame for corruption in the water and sanitation sector, the private sector is as much to blame as its actions exploit weaknesses in the public sector. Other abuses have occurred in areas as mundane as the provision of portable toilets, a form of sanitation service to poor communities, which is a frequent focus of tender and procurement irregularities, the report shows. This is little shelf company BEEs that go in and they win the contract and they get the 4 million rand and hanky-dory and we're off and running and we're going to go and buy a Porsche and we're going to buy a house, we're going to do that and the other. By the time they turn around, they've got no money left to actually do what they're supposed to be doing, which is putting up portable toilets. And of course, no one ever gets charged. This is the gangster state, South Africa in action. The report characterizes corruption as falling into three areas: the manipulation of procurement and operational processes, influence on policy and regulatory decisions, and private interests prevailing over those of communities. The BEE shelf companies that are owned by the well-connected ANC cadres. The report says the much-lamented lack of institutional capacity in many water sector institutions is the result of deliberate institutional weakening in order to facilitate corruption. Some of the recommendations the study makes include designating the water sector as an island of integrity. Good luck with that. Ensuring the appointment of honest, ethical, and committed leaders to run key institutions. Well, there's one technical problem there, guys, and that is it's called BEE, Black Economic Empowerment, which ensures black privilege. So this is an antithesis of how South Africa actually works, the suggestion. And there's no way the ANC government under Cyril Ramaphosa are going to get rid of Black Economic Empowerment, or BEE. So these horses don't even get off the starting blocks. Okay, let me just repeat this again. Some of the recommendations the study makes include designating the water sector as an island of integrity, ensuring the appointment of honest, ethical, and committed leaders to run key institutions, improving and strengthening procurement systems and practices, and facilitating transparency in regulatory decisions. Well, that flies in the face of what the ANC are all about. It ain't gonna happen. This is just weasel words. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please stay safe. Bye for now.